On the promenade extension, construction began yesterday, March 6th, during a tsunami. Temporary stairs have been constructed at Third Ave and Second Ave to maintain beach access during construction. The contractor is mobilizing equipment and materials and performing prep work this entire week. And the bulkhead construction will start next week. Hopefully we'll see that giant pile driver out on the beach pretty soon. Also for Sylvan Lake Bulkhead, Mayor, construction also began yesterday, July 6th. The contractor is mobilizing equipment and setting up traffic control this week. They will begin work on the bulkhead next week at the western end of the project at Madison Ave and work their way towards Evergreen Ave. They will work in approximately 100-foot sections to excavate soil and construct the new bulkhead before moving on to the next section. Excavated soil from the Sylvan Lake project is being used to backfill behind the bulkhead at the Promenade Extension project. So quite literally, one project is intertwined with the other project, keeping all the soil, the sacred soil of Bradley Beach here in Bradley Beach.
And saving hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, that minor detail.
We like that too.
And also, the reason why they're doing those sections smaller like that, for a couple of different reasons, but one of the key things is to reduce the impact, not tearing up the whole entire length of Bradley Boulevard, but doing pieces, and that also preserves parking for beach access as long as possible. So they're not gonna disturb that, until they get down to that end of the Bradley Boulevard. So it's actually, contractors being very cooperative. Both contractors are, so that's really positive.
Yes, and the one at Sylvan Lake, that bulkhead, recently, as you know, did work at the same spot between us and Avon by the sea with the outflow pipe this past winter. And did an excellent job with that, so we look forward to working with them again on this project.
Right, and then the outfall project, they're also going to be doing gate replacement, a change order to that New Jersey DEP project. So that's supposed to happen sometime here late summer into the fall. So that will really, complete a lot of that infrastructure replacement that we need.
And that gate is critical because particularly with yesterday, with concerns of rising water and so forth, I know that at Fletcher Lake, they had to open the gate in order to lower the water table. I don't believe that they needed to do that at Sylvan Lake, but that gate is very problematic.
No, they did reduce. The problem, the timing of that is all problematic because with the tides, you have to time it with the tides, and
Right.
so that's really one thing affects the other. So.
Right. Can I also just ask, since there seems to be a discussion going on, the transfer of soil is going to be like section by section over to the promenade, and that will work in terms of the promenade use of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So initial excavation won't be so wet, and when it starts to get too wet to move right away, they'll stockpile it a little bit, let it drain, and then move it.
Stockpile it around Sylvan Lake?
Yeah, so our engineer, yes, before moving it to the promenade, because you don't want to just have mud drop and drip
Right.
everywhere. But the two contractors are being coordinated by Artheon, our engineer, and they're being very cooperative, working together to coordinate all of this. So, fingers crossed that this cooperation continues in a positive way and minimizes impact to the public.
Right.
And then the timing of when that stuff moves is going to be critical also, not to disrupt, don't do it in the middle of the afternoon and do it, before, there's a lot of traffic and pedestrians and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just another benefit to the council to have a real engineer on the council, because you're doing two projects that could be done in separate years that would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars more, because you would have had to pay to remove the soil, and then you would have had to pay to also bring in soil. So, because of Councilman Nowicki, everything's getting done at one time, saving the taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And there's some inconveniences to it because it does create more construction in the town all at once, and so it is disruptive to the community. But we're trying to do everything we can to try to minimize that disruption to the community. But it's critical that this happens now. One, the promenade, because we would have lost the funding if we don't complete it or haven't, if we didn't complete that project and have it done here by December 31st, we'd have lost $4 million of funding for that project. And so it is critical that that gets done before the end of the year.
I saw the signs also on the beach now, so other people can find out, just scan the QR code and find out what the status is and about the project.
Yeah, we're really trying to up the game on communications. Like we've said that for over the last year with the sewer program, the demolition of the church on Lorraine. So we're really trying to up the game on communication, and it takes a lot of effort from the staff and from the consultants and all of us. So I know Councilman Carp, you also had your fingers on with some of those communications as well. So it's good to have your collective team trying to touch things, make sure that we get the right messages out.
Thank you.
I think what's important for our residents to know, because you're hearing us reference different projects, the gate, the bulkhead and so forth. What's really important to know is two very major projects are taking place in a very limited area of Bradley Beach, the southeast corner. One is, we referenced the bulkhead on Sylvan Lake, and that is in fact the key project about to get underway. But it's part of a much broader restoration series of projects, including the outfall pipe that we mentioned, including dredging the lake ultimately. So putting in a walking path, narrowing Bradley Boulevard. There's a lot that's going to happen for Sylvan Lake. There's also a lot that's going to happen related to extending our promenade, the pavers and our boardwalk heading south towards Avon, because that is the lowest area ground level relative to sea level in Bradley Beach, very susceptible to ocean surges and flooding. So and I'll give the credit to prior Councilman John Weber a number of years ago, said this is a key project the borough needs to undertake to protect our residents, the homeowners, especially in the southeast corner. So that is underway, phase 1, phase 2, we're applying for funding. And then ultimately there will be a phase 3 that will actually connect our boardwalk fully extended to Avon's boardwalk. So a lot happening all at once, and we squeezed it in. You probably noted, Councilman Nowicki just said a lot of our funding runs out on December 31st of this year. So we're obviously in a hurry to get to the work. But at the same token, we didn't want to start before July 4th. We know there's going to be disruption at the beach, but we did everything we could to begin that construction post July 4th. And we did have contractors saying, hey, could we get started a little early? And we said no. So right now, it's kind of a sprint to the end of the year for all these projects, and contractors are starting. So I know it's disruption to all of our residents. I can assure everyone that 50 years from now, long after I'm gone and many of us are gone, Bradley Beach will look back on these projects and say, wow, this was critical in terms of sustainability for Bradley Beach, that we got this all done in such a short period of time. So pardon the inconvenience. As Councilman Nowicki and others have mentioned, we have signs with QR codes. We are updating our website regularly. Scan that QR code or just go to the website. I forget the title, but it's something like projects or construction projects. There's
Infrastructure projects.
Infrastructure projects, thank you. Just go directly to the website. It's on the homepage, but you'll see regular updates. We'll post new information as it becomes available to us.